Kathleen, take me back to the year like 1996, right? What was it like departing to the East Coast of the U.S. to compete in the Olympics? What did that feel like, and at what point did it hit you? It's like, all right, I'm in game face now.
I think, when we were in opening ceremonies, that was really exciting because there's so many other people from across the world and so many different competitions, different sports. And so that was really exciting. We spent some time training in Hawaii before we went on to Atlanta, and then Savannah, which was where the competition venue was for sailing.
Now, everybody says this, like I've talked to surfers, I've talked to paddlers and everything, they said that the wave conditions over there are so much different than when we trained here, because the water here is relatively calm with our reef. Like, what was it like when you actually got in the water?
Well, it was in a sound, basically, a bay, and so there was a lot of tidal shifts there. And the winds were relatively very light for us. And so, it was just navigating all those different things. It's really, for windsurfing in those days, you line up. And so there's about, 28, 30 boards in a line, and you're standing there, trying not to fall over and take out half the contingent between the start boat and the pin on the other end, which is a buoy. And so, those were always really exciting times. And just, going through the experience, I think was a lot of fun. And I would say, sports really can enhance your life, right? They don't necessarily have to be your whole life, but they can enhance your life, for sure.
Now, did you trade pins with any other athletes, either at the opening ceremonies or out in the field or on the water?
Yes, we did. I think I still have a few of them, This is going back 28 years, so a lot of things have happened since then. But yeah, I still have, I have a Glory Days frame with some things in it that my husband created for me.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Now, I know if you ask a bunch of Guamanians who are sports fans and they say, who can you name from the 96 team? It's your name, Marie Benito,
yes.
Derek Bollinger, who was like our star kid in the pool and everything like that.
Yes,
who else was on that team, and who were you close to?
And John Iriarte was the male sailor at that time for windsurfing. And then we also had, I think, Rick Bloss's son was in there, Rick Bloss Jr., even at that time, but I could be mistaken about that. I was trying to think who else is in our contingent. Because we were separate and away from the rest of the group, so we were not in the Olympic Village. We were actually in a hotel in Savannah.
And did you compete in both weeks, or did yours start only on week 1 or only on week 2?
Oh, ours goes forever. Like some people jump in a pool of 50 feet, yay, their sport is done. Ours goes on for, 10, 12 days, and you just have a series of races, so you get a placement and ranking at the end of it. Yeah.
Do you keep up with essentially like your Olympic class and like that iteration of Team Guam, the 96 team?
Not really. I think already at that stage, I was already in my 30s, so I was a little bit older, so I kind of, that peak of my Olympic career probably should have been taken place about 10 years earlier instead of when it did. But I was already 34 at that time, 35. So, so there were already a lot of other things. My career, I had a small child at the time, so there's other things in my life. But one of the things I will always remember is there was one athlete. At the end of the day, we had to take a ferry out to the venue, which was this floating dock, and he realized at the end of that day that he wasn't going to medal. And just tears came down and cried, not from Guam, from another country, because he was really in the running for a medal. And I remember thinking at that moment that I was so grateful that I had other things for my ego to be attached to, my family, my job, instead of just a sport. And so you realize when you see elite athletes, and that's all they do, those trials and tribulations that they go to are really earth-shattering for them. So it's really having to build the other identity for yourself beyond athlete. So you give it your all for a certain period of time, whether you're in football or anything else. You can only last so long. Your body only lasts so long. And then what's your other identity? Where does your ego rest other than just that sport?
And when you come home, you're celebrated as a champion forever, regardless if you medaled or not. Because you and your teammates have etched your names in Guam sports lore forever.
Yes, well, thank you for that. It really was a privilege to represent Guam and to do our best out there, you know, absolutely.
Okay, final question. You shared a lot of like athletes' wisdom already for the team that's going to go this year, and I believe we may have 5 or 6 athletes that we're sending over as our contingent. What knowledge would you give them about how to enjoy the experience and how to really like let it sink in and maybe like really realize who they're representing?
Well, I think you do have to allow yourself to enjoy it because you so badly want to do your best, right? But you are out there competing with other countries with tons of support. So this is all and money for, you know, to focus, let the athletes focus on just that sport. So I would say really, you know, put your absolute best out there and represent Guam and be the friendly athlete and, you know, say hello to others. Focus on your event when you're there and then just really enjoy the experience because you will only have this once in your life, maybe twice for Guam, but then that's it, and cherish those moments.
Going for Gold is presented to you by Prime Hydration and C2O Coconut Water, distributed by PDC Wholesale.